Hello and welcome back to the part two. Now, 3 minutes passed since part one in my time, but I don't know how much it passed in your time. But we are going to prepare Vertica according to this documentation. So, prepare Vertica database, and basically, there's like a lot of things to do before the Vertica itself get deployed. Right, so preparing Vertica, you need to change a lot of operating system level parameters. And this is what we're going to do right now. So we have right now five clusters, five nodes over here, and I'm going to treat Vertica as if it's going to be replicated into a cluster later. I need to decide, am I going to keep a single node Vertica, or am I going to have like a 3-node deployment, because I'm intend to use it for ops bridge reporting and of course optic DL data, but also for NOM reporting and DCA reporting. So it kind of makes it a little bit more demanding from the single node, and perhaps I'm going to replicate it. So right now I'm just going to treat it as a single deployment. I'm going to treat it as a basis for future Vertica servers, and it means that my snapshot strategy would reflect that as well. Okay, so here we go. Prepare the Vertica database, of which COSO reporting, okay, and central. Also use Vertica to collate data. You must connect to Vertica in this documentation. Vertica, blah, 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 blah. And worker nodes is referred to external Vertica deployment should be a minimum of 3 dedicated nodes Vertica. Now, they talk about production. Unfortunately, we are not in production. Well, my production is not production. My customers would have it, right? Because I have 10 nodes, maybe 14 nodes, which collect data for my optic DL, which is not a lot. I mean, compared to thousands, that's not a lot. Okay, single node Vertica as external Vertica is not recommended for production because it doesn't no high availability. So I still need to think about the scale. The point is I'm running a production instance right now with the previous version of CDF, and my single node Vertica is not busy at all. It's not busy. It's at all not busy because it just ingests data, and there are no analytical queries that are running on it constantly. And realistically, it collects maybe a few megabytes of data every day, maybe a few tens of megabytes a day. So yeah, so multiple nodes need to be considered very quickly. Okay, to install and set up Vertica system, perform the following prerequisites, send the following documentation section before you. Okay, so Vertica documentation, links to that. Now, I know that I need to read this because this procedure is not full, right? Supported operating system and file system required for Vertica server. Let's see if I didn't make a mistake. Amazon OpenSUSE EXT NFS. Oh, I think I made a mistake because I'm using XFS. Well, we're going to ignore XFS when we install Vertica. Basically, you can tell it to, okay, ignore it. Vertica and virtualized environment. So basically, since we're not going to use a bare bones server, I'm going to use a virtual machine. So it says, do not oversubscribe. You see, do not overcommit. So if your Vertica is using like 5 gigabytes of RAM, don't cram 32 gigabytes into it. That's point number one in the whole thing. Do not oversubscribe. And it's actually a guideline for Microsoft servers as well. Do not oversubscribe. Do not give more resources than you need, because you are not going to get the benefit of it, but you are going to get confused with everything. Okay, hypervisor, high performance, blah, 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 choose an operating system, supported, configure, attach, blah, 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 blah. VOPerf utility to validate actual performance throughput. Okay, even the network performance. Okay, we're not going to do that. So we need to yum install OpenSSH, Witch, and Dialog. So we're going to do just that. Where is my Vertica? There we go. So this server is done for a moment, and this is our Vertica. So it's going to be yum OpenSSH, Witch, and Dialog. So I'm going to say Witch and Dialog. and I'm going to say yes. Those are the prerequisite packages. Debian, Ubuntu, okay, package dependencies, we don't need those. And actually, welcome to Vertica documentation, it's not what we need. We'll get there later. Installation overview and checklist before you install Vertica. Okay, now there are all of those nice things, right? So installation before you install, configure hardware, install a cluster in the Vertica script, upgrade Vertica, install the license key. Okay, we're not going to do that. Not okay. The steps. Download and installing config installation script. Download. That's not okay. 1 second. It says that you can add. Okay, so we can add a single. We can add nodes to a single node cluster later, which is good. It means that we can expand as long as we are not setting it as a loop. I have no idea. Okay, platform requirements and recommendations. RAID, install Vertica script. That's not what we prepare. Disk storage locations. Do we need to do that? Believe me, you see those steps. They look very easy and configure the network. But believe me, once we get to that thing, to the actual steps, it's going to be a lot of things. Operating system configuration, supported platform, LVM. Okay, file system, NFS for backup. Okay, storage, swap space. Okay, and now this is where we get it gets interesting. So first of all, we need to create a swap file because we don't have swap space, so it's going to be swap file. Now, what is the difference between swap file and swap partition? First of all, all my servers are created without swap partition. CentOS, how to add a swap space, Linux RS, create a swap file, CentOS 8. 1 second, let's do it on CentOS 8. So basically, when you have a partition, it's located in a specific sector of the disks. And if we're talking about SSD disks, it's not really nice for the SSD disk to use the same exact sector for read writing your RAM memory when it overflows, right? So if you create a swap file, then you are easily, you have a file that can be easily moved by the internal storage algorithms, but you still have swap space. So there is no difference in terms of using the swap space, but okay, start by creating a file. So, but you get all of the benefits. So I'm going to have actually a 4 GB swap file. Let's file locate. Now byte size, now DD count. Now I'll take this thing and I'll go, oh no. Okay, and I'll go with calculator and I'm going to just paste this thing and multiply it by 4. Okay, and now we'll just, I'll take this thing and we will write this digit, those digits here. So it's going to be 4194304. Go for it. And it will create a 4 GB of file that has a size of 4 GB. There we go. So now I'm going to change mode. I'm going to make it into swap. Okay. And then I'm going to, okay, so this is going to be swap on. And then there's going to be swap on show just to validate. Okay. Swap priority -2, use size type. Okay. Sudo free hardware doesn't really matter. Okay. And now we'll go to SAD. Nano FS tab. I see those are people of culture. And we're going to add this entry and save it. And then let's put the sloppiness value. It's 30, but there will be a requirement in the vertical installation that would actually specify the sloppiness that we need to use, and it's not in this procedure, but we will get there. I mean, there is like a long list of everything that you need to configure in the vertical cluster. Okay, disk block size. Let's see, recommended on XT. Oh, it supports XFS. Okay, well, I think that's okay. Memory, vertical hardware, firewall, and there we go. Okay, so now we just go and we verify a verified set. Okay, limits configuration. So we're gonna be nano limits conf, and somewhere at the bottom of it, but actually everything is uncommented. So we are going to say dbadmin. Nice 0. Oh no. Oh, come on. Control K. Yes. Save. So that's nice limitation. It's going to be referred to several more times. Okay, now determine the current default setting with the following commands. So we are going to no such file or directory. Run the command. Okay, so this is what we're going to do if you got no such file or directory. So basically our disk block sizes are not set, so we're going to do just that. Yes, okay, now we get something along those lines. Okay, and now we are going to say nano. Okay, and we are going to add this over here and save. And now we need to apply the thing to our vertical cluster, and that's what it says. And I think we can actually try and list it once more. Oh, no such file and directory. Probably because it's systemctl conf. Okay, we did that, systemctl conf. No such file. Okay, let's say etc sysctl. We need to find the sysctl. Where's the sysctl? Find /etc. I name sysctl, right? There is no such thing. Okay, I'll let it fly for now. User open files limit. Next one is ulimit. For example, ulimit -n. Let's see what this limit says. 1000? No, not enough. So we're going to nano that thing. We're going to the very bottom of the page and we're going to add a dbadmin entry. As you see, this thing repeats itself several times. And unfortunately, I don't have the correct sequence or, oh, that's probably the same thing. Run sbin system. We don't have sysctl at all. Oh, it's in sbin. It's in sbin. So whatever that thing was, right, it's sbin. So we're going to run it just one more time from the previous step, right? It's going to be sysctl sbin. Sbin. There we go. Yeah. So this one, first file is max 16109. If the limit is not whatever is higher in megabytes. Let's just do that. Okay, we will nano that thing. I think our setting is a little bit higher than it says in the procedure, but we will set it up like this. So ours is higher by like twice bigger, I think, right? FS files is, but we're going to reduce it actually because they know what they talk about, right? Save, yes. Runs CTLP. Oh no. We'll run CCTLP. As you see, this is the fun and it just begins. There's a lot of things that we do before we install Vertica. Okay, there we go. Those two are set. Next, PAM limits. Well, because why not? Okay. This topic is how enable the SU PAM limits on model required by Vertica on the some systems. So it's not set in etc PAM. The when it's not set, it's preferring the conveying of limits to any command that starts with SU. Okay, the SU. The install automatically configures the correct setting in the file level. If there is an issue setting the value, I have used the no system configuration argument for the installer. It will report the system. Okay, so we don't need to do anything because we're not going to restrict our installation, which is good. Address space limits. Run ulimit minus v as dbadmin user to determine the current limit. If the limit dbadmin, okay, we will specify it. I know that it doesn't exist because it doesn't exist, right? So dbadmin as unlimited. Save the changes, right? And I think I didn't save the changes. Oh, I did. Okay, great. Why didn't they put everything in the same place? Don't know. Okay. Oh, etc security limits dbadmin. Okay. Yeah. Now we're gonna say this thing. Okay. As you see, I'm not really validating. Was it file system? File size limits? Yeah, it was file size that I did right now. User process limit. Okay, dbadmin, ncproc. It's going to be the same file. We're going to go down. And yeah, I wish I had a full list. But replace 406 with the amount of system memory in megabytes on the server. Free minus m, and it's going to be this number actually. Yeah. So we are going to replace this number, and since it's not 4 gigabytes, going to be this number. Okay. If then edit. Okay. So we don't have the dbadmin user. So many of those verifications are based on dbadmin user, but we don't have it. Okay. Sbean max count, determine the current limit. Max count 65. That's it. Okay, so this one is fine. Now we go here. I thought we're done. No, we are just getting started. Right. Discrete ahead. Okay, and this grid ahead, this is how to change it to supported value. This grid ahead at least. Those commands must be executed with root privileges. Okay, if you block them in the partition, for instance, running set ra, Okay, for each drive in vertical system, vertical recommended serve read ahead for 2048. Second, it's okay. Okay. Okay, so we are going to copy those two lines and hopefully they would work. Yep. Okay, there is a validation step. Oh. Okay. Ubuntu and Debian system. Okay, this grid ahead, set it up. No verification. Now, NTP services is actually, we do have NTP running. Now, we're using Cronny instead of NTPD. So, NTP daemon must be running on all the hosts closest to the clocks are synchronized. The spread daemon writes differences you use refer to NTP, different versions. For example, so NTP, NTPD. Now, we don't want NTPD. We actually, instead of NTPD, we have something else. Okay, Debian will almost approach a config, but they don't offer a below package. Happy to get things about to config. Yeah, I think this is the thing that we need to run. Yeah, not found. Well, I'm not using this actually. I'm using something else entirely. I'm using Cronny and it doesn't kind of allow me to use Cronny. But to me it means that the time is synchronized regardless because all of my servers have the time synchronized. So I don't need to use NTP. Oh, it says Cronny. Well, good. Sorry. Yum install Cronny. Cronny is done. Cronny is working for us already. I did configure it. Okay, CPU frequency. Your system may use significantly more energy where CPU frequency scaling is disabled. Okay. The topic details the various CPU frequencies can method supported by Vertica. If you do not require. Oh, okay. Your system may use significant frequency is disabled. System performance. Should we? Okay, I'm going to ignore this one. Probably there is no transparent hue pages. This one I remember. So this is one of those weird Linux configurations, and we just continue. Oh no, no such file or directory. If you're using Red Hat CentOS, Amazon Linux, and then disable, you must enable rather than disable. Okay, I don't even have this thing. Yes, cat. Okay, there is a new enable transparent disable. Oh, it's a CentOS 6, right? So this one says always. For systems use requirements, you can run the for. Okay. So is enabled. So it is enabled. So that's fine. Disable on other systems. Cool, cool. So that one is done. To pages IO scheduler. Configure IO scheduler. Deadline or no. IO scheduling. What's scheduling? Name scheduler, file system configure IO scheduler. Okay. Okay, what it says, MQ deadline. Oh, MQ deadline. Okay, no SFQ. Deadline. Well, it's already set on deadline. Yes. Echo deadline. Okay, well, it already says something very similar. Okay, I think this one is already set for us. Support tools. Okay, yum install. Okay, now we're going to do yum install for those things and sysstat. Yes, sysstat is super important. Actually, sysstat minus y. Go for it. No, sysstat doesn't exist. Nothing to do. There already exists. Systems. Okay. Let's continue. System user requirements. Okay, redundancy. You must have same username and password on all nodes. System user requirements. Okay. So those are the prereqs, you think, but no. No. Now, set up an NXT file system. Now, let's see what it refers to here. It recommended supported browsers. Okay, this one is done. Configure a swappiness parameter. There we go. So, echo 1 to swappiness. Okay, let's see, cut swappiness. So swappiness should be 1. And we have our swappiness set on 30, but they want it to be 1. So we do this, and we run the command just to validate it once more, and now it's 1. I thought we're done, right? Configure the read ahead. Now, read ahead we just did. So we did it. We did it already. Configure the NTP network type protocol. Isn't it time? No, it's time, yes. Cronny, disable SE Linux. Now, this is super important. Edit SE Linux config and set enforce to 0, right? So we're going to do just that. Actually, I'm going to disable SE Linux. I think I might have did it on all of my servers already. SE Linux disabled. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, okay. I already did. I know that I did before because I find that SE Linux is basically every time you need to do something, this SE Linux stands in your way. Enable transparent defrag. Whoa, what defrag stands for. Okay, let's see if defrag is enabled. Go for it. There is no such thing. Oh, CentOS, right. This is the one that we need to use. And it says that it advise. If you're not using mAdvice or never, then you must disable. Okay, we do use the mAdvice. Okay. Configure IO schedule and see if it makes more sense than the previous procedure. It might be referring to a different version. No, it's not. Install that it does. Okay, open SSH, which dialog, and TZ data. This one is new. Yum update TZ data. TZ data. Let's see what TZ data is. Nothing to do. Nothing to do. Set the default, set the time zone of the host, clock, export. Okay, we did that one. That's why already time zone data. All right. Let's see if we have a defined time zone. We do, actually. we do. It also requires Vertica or higher, and it's located in the Obsgrid chart, in the tools directory, not no less. Okay, so I'm going to snapshot this thing, because now we are going into the realm of installing Vertica. So after 30 minutes of preparing stuff, we are going to deploy the stuff. Okay, and the snapshot is prereqs are done. Okay, this is the name of our uh, of our snapshot, and we are basically somewhere here. And once it is powered on, let's go to tools directory. Okay, so we are inside the chart file right here. You see all this switch chart, the chart file basically extracted, right? And we have this Vertica 10, okay, and Vertica 921. And I have no idea why it wants Vertica 921 sizing, system requirements. Maybe CentOS network database is Vertica or higher. So can I use a higher version of Vertica? This one? I'm not really sure. Can I? No, it says Vertica, but this is like the minimal, right? Or higher patch version. Can I install the wrong Vertica here? But why do I need Vertica of a higher version? Okay, Vertica is shipped with this, okay? You can copy onto a Vertica and install license key, we did that. Run validations and run install Vertica host dbadmin example apply license, and we don't need to. Configure logging. Okay, Vertica plugin that would do a lot of things for us. Well, the question is, if I go with a higher Vertica, because it's shipped over here, it's right there. Am I going to suffer for it? Am I going to suffer for a higher version of Vertica installed on my system? Why would they ship a new version? I don't know. Okay, well, I'm going to take a risk over here, and I'm going to use a higher version. I might need to redo the whole thing, but I don't think that the procedure would change too much, right? So root at Vertica root, and we're gonna say yes, and we're gonna say the password to copy the file. And there we go. Now we go to Vertica, we list the directory. There's our Vertica installation, right? And we are going to RPM IVH this Vertica, verifying, preparing. I hope that the new version, well, everything new should be better, right? They do introduce new bugs, but at least they solve the old ones, at least theoretically. So we're gonna do just that. Now run the validation script. Of course, we're not going to run the validation steps unless though they make sense. CPU perform, no, thank you. There's no going back. Now OPT Vertica hosts, and it's going to be FQDN of this host. RPM, we're going to replace it. DBA user, where, for example, this is, okay. dbadmin, okay, so we're going to use this thing. exactly as it says, but we're going to replace the command with something. We're going to replace the command with something else. So it's going to say dbadmin, but actually it's going to be something else. So it's going to be Vertica. Oh, come on. Okay. We'll delete this thing and we're going to say that a name. And we are going to deploy it on only one host for now, because we saw that we can add hosts later, so it's not that important. And we do have a snapshot, like a base snapshot anyway. So I'm going to say vertica.opsd.demos.net. And probably I need to say error level something. Yeah, it's going to say that it's going to fail. Installation fail with errors. Okay, and now we need to verify what errors are there, and it doesn't say what errors are there. Okay, the failure threshold. Now it didn't specify. It didn't specify what exactly are the errors. Maybe it should say -v. Would it work if it's verbose? All right, add nodes. Session tools, install Vertica, RPM, Vertica, install Vertica hosts, RPM, Vertica, RPM. No, those are arguments that do not exist. Okay, but now it's still, there is a fail. Invalid path. Oh, that's what failure is. Oh, because it says TMP. It's not TMP, it's root. Oh, should be reading more. Okay, so if there are no failures, password for dbadmin user. So I'm going to say that this is the password. Hopefully I typed it the right way. Oh, I do have the root password anyway. Go for it. Fail. Transparent hue page is set to always, must be never or am advised. And we need to read this one. We see that. And swappiness was not captured. Okay, so we see that our swappiness changes, the ones that we set previously, are not captured. So what is it that I'm reading? Echo one, swappiness, Scott. Let's see what it says. Control U. Let's see what it says. It says 30. It didn't save it. Why? Why? Why didn't it save it? It didn't save the change. So swappiness. Not saved. Let's say. Why don't changes to swappiness remain? Okay, so swappiness. So count none of the. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is what it is. Up. We need to add swappiness into that thing, and we're gonna say one control thing. You see, that's what people need to do in order to make it work. Cool. Let's go to procedure number 2 and see what has changed over here. Okay, Red Hat, concurrent disable sequential, CentOS. You must reboot your system for the settings to take effect. Echo always. I don't even know what it says. Control U cut. But it is always. Transfine must be never or M advice. But why? Enabling. Run the following command. But it is set to always. Is set to always, must be never or M advice. Okay, you know what? We're going to change it to M advice. So we're going to say nano this file, and I'm actually going to put brackets on that thing, and I'm going to say, oh, no, not the right bracket type. This is the right bracket type. Okay, and I'm going to save invalid argument. Okay, I cannot change it. How do we change it? Echo M advice. I'm going to say M advice. Echo M advice. Okay, and I need to reboot the system. That we already did. Okay, so now let's see what it says. It says M advice. Okay, and we need to reboot our system actually, which is super weird, but let's do it. So we are rebooting the system, as the doctor said, and then we will run our command just one more time. We are 42 minutes in, and our Vertica is still not fully configured. Yeah, now we could make it denser if we would not read the procedures, but rather document all steps and perform them sequentially without explanations or digging into the nitty-gritty over here. But yeah, no, we're actually sitting through the whole thing and looking what we can do. So there is the installation. There it validates. Actually, I already set the password from the previous step. Now it's running. Fail. And it's actually set to failure threshold. What can be the failure threshold? Why? It didn't save. Okay. Hue pages not saving. Okay. And we're going to say, got Hue pages. Let's see what it says. No such file or directory. Okay. It's actually for this one. Okay. What it says, and it's let's see, maybe the pages. And what did we say with the echo command previously? M-advice, but it doesn't save it, right? Yeah, it doesn't save it. So we're going to take the file name and we're going to go to our trusty internet over here and we say, not saving. And let's see, right. Okay, it's just not saving. Okay, I can never. but it doesn't save it. It doesn't do anything. Resets. Reset. No, let's say reboot. Let's say what the reboot makes for us. And modify the frag of the modify. Okay. Install the sysfs utils. What's this? Okay, sysfs. Yeah. If test MM transparent. Yep. Systemctl. DB. Okay, we need to go to the RC local solution, right? Okay, we go to RC local and we add the line. So this is what we need. So it's gonna be nano RC local, and we're going to say then echo if test echo always, and we're gonna say actually not always. I'm gonna say madvise. Advice, and we're going to say yes, save, and we are going to reboot. We're going to reboot the server once more and validate. We are 47 minutes in, and our Vertica is yet to be installed, so there is a lot of preparation. And it means that I'm going to save a copy of the prereq version of this Vertica on a side for next users, because this thing, it takes time to prepare. And what I found out is that between versions of Vertica that I used so far, there are no prerequisite changes. So basically, they settled on something that works and it keeps itself this way. So we are going to believe it. And okay, let's run our long command, and we'll see if it worked. And if it did, good for us. If it did, good for us. If it did not, well, we'll find out. Okay, we have a hint. Time zone is unset for dbadmin. Creating. Installation complete. Please evaluate your hardware using to create a database. Okay, basically it says more steps. Okay, so this one is not required. And we go here. And we're not going to apply license. Run install Vertica, example, apply license, enter the path to license key. We're not going to do it right here. dbadmin, oh, okay, su dbadmin. We're going to say su dbadmin. No, su dbadmin. What did I do? Didn't press space. Okay, su dbadmin. And I need to set the time zone actually. ILETCTL. Would that help? Maybe. I don't know. Okay. So create DB name. So we're going to say item DB, and we're going to give it some common password, something that I feel safe to use. Host item DB host Okay, Vertica dot opsbswdemos.net, and the password, I'm going to use my non-production password. You know what? I'm going to use my production password. Okay, so there I entered it off screen. I'm going to say accept. Failed. Let's see what error. Permission denied. Permission denied. What? What? Data path slash item db catalog path slash item db. Do I have the item db from previous command? Opt vertica. Where's the item db? Permission denied for what? Opt vertica. Info. Create DB process result. Tools. Info, running info. What? What is wrong with you? So it tries to go to the slash item DB somewhere. Where's the item DB? Data path. If you don't specify, oh, okay, so I can go with the same command and I don't need to specify those because the documentation says that I don't have to default to something that is related to the previous installation command. So there it goes, down. And actually creating database itemdb, it started the database and now it works. So once it's up, that's it. I cannot reboot the server safely anymore. I need to go and disable the server manually every single time from admin tools, but that's completely fine. And right now we are reaching another point where it's installed but not configured. So we'll do the logging part like this once it's done. But then configure the Vertica database. We need to install the Vertica plugin, and that's going to be leg number 3 of this journey. Yeah. Okay, so there's our logging set, and now we'll open the tool. And I'm deliberately not going to use command line for this because I don't want to expose my password in every single command on YouTube. So we're going to go the manual route. It's not taking too long, so I'm going to exit and I'm going to say power off because I want to have a snapshot. So there's our entirely new Vertica, and as you see now, it takes a little bit longer for it to power down. If previously it was jumping to power down state pretty much immediately, now it thinks about it. Yep, yeah. Go. Okay, good. Snapshots. Vertica 10 installed with extra prereqs. and DB initiated. Okay, that's all we did. DB initiated. So there's going to be section number 3. Oh, come on, this thing is going to be a long video. That's actually how to cook your Vertica. Yeah, that's not a bad procedure at all. I just wonder how I'm going to teach it to my students in September. Okay, so there is the Costa Vertica RPM Pulsar Dukes shipped with Object in the tools directory. So we need to take this Pulsar and put it on our Vertica, which should be up by now. Yes. So we're going to our master, and I'm going to say SCP item Pulsar to root at Vertica and then /root directory because I like it. We go for it. Yep. Okay, and then we download and then we go to a root and we are actually going to RPM IVH this thing. So allow RPM IVH and then Pulsar. And yeah, installing this Pulsar thingy and installation structure for this package contains the attention script for custom. This package contains a plugin that connects Vertica to the custom message bus that retrieves load. The following values must be set in Vertica node before running the script. In the script deployment YAML file, go to this location. Okay, cd go to ll. You can change the default values before you run the DB init using the environment variables. Ooh, yeah, it's environment variable thing. It's not, yeah. Okay, so DB init basically reads from environment variables in order to know what I mean by some stuff that I mean, right? You must run the DB as a root user. If you run it as a sudo user, you must give it values the following preserve. Okay, so we did. Vertica home is the Vertica DBA, the DB admin, Vertica RO user, Vertica RW user, Vertica DB memory size. You can run the export command and type the values following environment variables. Export post schema configuration shconf. Okay, so I need to specify this and this. It will default to some specific values, memory size. The default value, I'm not going to change it. Concurrency, Vertica home, DB admin, export. Okay, I'm going to use the default users, of course. And I guess configure the values. No. I guess it will ask me for passwords. Okay, let's read it once more. Preview. Okay. DB init -p. Holding my breath. Okay, Vertica, DB memory. Okay. Okay, you know what? Okay. Going with the default. Let's see what kind of errors we get. Oh, Vertica DB admin password. I have this one. Yeah. Like this. Retype. Vertica error occurred. Okay, Vertica DB admin password check failed. Let's give it another try. What is wrong with that thing? Okay, let's give it one more time. Right click, No. Okay, let's give it another. Let's type manually. It failed. Maybe it's empty. Maybe the DB admin password itself is empty. Password, password. No! Type the Vertica DB admin password, but it was the right one. Testing password with DB admin suppress show time zone. Could not connect to server. Connection reviews. Oh. So DB admin. Let's see. Oh, it's down. So let's start the database. Okay. Going down, down, down. Why didn't it auto start it? I have no idea. Should, maybe. There's like this policy that I need to set up later, I think. Okay, startup successful and everything is up. Okay, exit. And then exit once more and the control L and go with the DB init. And we will use the password, right? Like this. Enter the password for our O user. And I'm actually going to copy that thing. That's a DBRO and I like it. Enter the password for your RW user. Yes, I'm going to use the same thing. Actually, I'm going to use the default one. And the reason I'm using the default one is because those are not DB admin passwords. Okay, go for it, and it's going to be much easier on me later. Skip and express vault configuration is not defined. Yeah, the conf of coffee environment was stored. Okay, so now we have all of them right here. Now, enable TLS and Vertica. No, thank you. You may skip this topic because I'm going to skip this topic. Okay, and now tune parameters for Vertica. Edit the bashrc file and I don't even know what they mean by modifying those things. And find and add the following export. Tune glibc to control memory growth in Vertica. Okay, log out, log back, and then restart the database. Location database. Okay, so this is for the root user. Okay, exit, exit. I know that I could source it. Don't yell at me. Now go to db admin, and I'm going to restart Vertica on host. Oh, stop database. Okay, well, those steps are new for me, and whoever is brave enough to stay right up to here, congratulations. I know that for me, this is going to be a great reference when I write the training material because so far we are on 1 hour and something on the doing it without writing the documentation. So that is going to be quite useful. Run and restart. Set grep arena. Okay, do we have? Yep. Run the phone to ensure that the environment variables have been applied to process correctly. Okay. Wow. I really hope it works. No. No. Max as equal. Proc pgrep vertica environment grep arena. Maybe I should be in. Maybe I should be in the DB admin and then I. No. Okay. Can I see if this works? Permission denied. Okay. So it's must be run from here. Yeah. I have no idea what it means. Wait. Configure resource pool for reports and monitoring. Create RO user resource pool. But we did that. We did that. We did it. Okay. Okay. Create resource pool. Okay. VSQL. Right. Password should be this. Yeah, DBadmin. Example. Okay, I'm going to take all of those three commands and run them. Select username. Okay. And let's see what it says. Already this didn't it copy? Select username. Where's the select one row? Then okay, example. Create monitoring. Create resource pool. Okay. More configurations basically. Run privilege, and then let's see what it says. Okay. Tune WOS data resource pool. The default resource pool, author, users. Okay. Run the following command to tune resource pool in a larger tier GNOME environment. I'm going to say it anyways. Oh, it doesn't exist because we don't have. And we don't have the load balancing. Synchronized time did that. Yep, already did that. So I think, yeah. I think this concludes our Vertica. So there was a three-leg journey to summarize. First thing, we did the prerequisites and we saved the snapshot. Then we installed the database and we saved the snapshot. And then we did the configuration of the database and we need to save a snapshot. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Right, so I'm going to, where's the admin tools? Right, so I'm going to stop the database. Okay, I'm going to stop the database. I'm going to snapshot it, and I'm going to power it on. So the third step was configuring all of those things, including some new things for not running over the resources. Which is, it might be a thing that I can think about in my prod environment where it gets slow, and I did not restrict those things. So those are new lessons learned. So I definitely can see the benefit of doing that. Later, I'm going to deploy the OpsBridge suite on the staying program. What's my next step? in my next step is going to be check the SSH. I do have SSH. Configure, enable the password. Okay, public key, permit root login. Yes, everything is good. Set up the hostname resolution. So basically, a lot of configurations related to the thing, but I'm using a DNS. For example, probably the next stage would be actually install the prerequisite packages and everything, basically preparing the master and worker nodes. So we got that thing going for us, pretty nice. We go to Demo vCenter, we snapshot that thing, and we say optic DL deployed and configured, and that's about it. Okay, I will see you in the next video.